What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we got some shocking information, some very, very shocking information from now undefeated three division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, now the reigning undisputed welterweight world champion, who is widely recognized as the number one best pound for pound fighter in the world, and Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Crawford is 40 wins, no loss and no draw, 31 big wins by way of knockout. He is 35 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. Terence Crawford is coming off the biggest win of his career, the most lucrative fight of his career, July 29th, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena, when he took on and defeated former unified three-belt WBA, WBC, IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer, who was widely considered to be top 5 pound-for-pound best fighters in the world, and Earl "The Truth" Spence Jr. Earl Spence Jr. is now 28 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 22 big wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. Terence Crawford, he dropped Errol Spence in the second round, dropped him twice in the seventh round, and stopped him in the seventh round to become the first male to become undisputed and hold all 4 major sanction belts in 2 separate weight classes in junior welterweight and in welterweight division. Terence Crawford created history, but this fight didn't come without some bumps and bruises. In getting to this position, okay, Errol Spence is signed with the PBC, Premier Boxing Champion, founder and advisor Al Haymon. Errol Spence is also with Showtime President of Sports Steven Espinosa. Terence Crawford, in his last 2 fights, have become a network promotional free agent. But prior to that, Terence Crawford was signed with legendary promoter, Top Rank CEO Bob Arum, ESPN, and Top Rank. And that was a major hurdle for Terence Crawford and Errol Spence to get done. And Terence Crawford has admitted his being wrongdoing by Top Rank and Bob Arum. This is not the first time. After his showdown, uh, November 20th of 2021, he took on 2-time welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, now retired future Hall of Famer, Showtime Shawn Porter, and he defeated Shawn Porter, dropping him twice and stopping him in the 10th round. With that said, that was his last fight with Top Rank, ESPN, and Bob Arum. Now, keep in mind, Bob Arum was on record saying that Terence Crawford was not a major draw. He couldn't sell, and that he lost so much money on Terence Crawford, he can build a mansion in Beverly Hills from scratch. That's how much money he lost on Terence Crawford fights. So with that said, Terence Crawford, after his fight with Shawn Porter is a PBC Premier Boxing fighter as well, and that was a fight where the WBO, World Boxing Organization, mandated Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford fight. And Terence Crawford has now admitted that, after the fight, he told Bob Arum, they couldn't get me over the hump. They couldn't get me to where I needed to be. And so, I have to part ways, right? And now Terence Crawford has revealed afterwards that he was taking Bob Arum to court, ESPN and Bob Arum and Top Rank to court, because he felt like, they owed him, they promised him, and they never fulfilled. And he said that they didn't know how to, maneuver around African American fighters. But with that said, now Terence Crawford has delved even deeper to reveal how he was being done wrong. And now Terence Crawford has admitted that they was taking full advantage of him over there at Top Rank. And Terence Crawford is now stating and claiming that he was only getting 6%, you heard me, 6% of the pay-per-view shares of the 3 pay-per-views he did. He did 3 pay-per-views. He did one with Victor Postol. He did a second one with Amir King Khan. And he did a third one with Shawn Porter. And so now he's saying that he only got 6% on the back end of the pay-per-views that never even actually came to fruition. He said, I was getting 6% and it never even happened. This is what Terence Crawford stated, right? So he had these 2 fights. The first pay-per-view it did with Victor Postol, reportedly 50,000 pay-per-view buys. The second pay-per-view with Amir Khan reportedly did 150,000 pay-per-view buys, and the Sean Porter was about 150,000 to 140,000 pay-per-view buys. And so Terence Crawford is stating that he didn't receive any money from those pay-per-views, and that he was only getting 6% of it anyway, right? And he felt he was being treated misfairly untreated. And this is why I said Terence Crawford has to hold himself accountable for the Errol Spence fight not happening sooner rather than later. Because Terence Crawford defended Bob Arum when he was on the Ak and Barak show and said that, well, he don't put much blame and onus on Bob Arum because Bob Arum tried to make the fights as the other side wasn't trying to make the fights. When Terence Crawford knew that Top Rank wasn't putting their best foot forward to make these fights happen. So he has to hold himself accountable for those fights not happening. And then he re-signed with Top Rank, knowing that, how he was being treated in the past. He re-signed out of loyalty and high hopes that they would make changes. And it was reported that Terence Crawford was going to receive bonuses for every fight they made that wasn't the Errol Spence fight, because he was promised that he would eventually get the fight with Errol Spence, but he never landed the fight with Errol Spence. And so Terence Crawford is stating that, he was only receiving 6%, and the sport of boxing is corrupt. He stated that it's somewhat, then he said, well, let me not say that. No, it is corrupt, right? This is what Terence Crawford had to say. So let's listen to what Terence Crawford had to say regarding, this situation and what he thinks about the sport of boxing, and only receiving 6% of pay-per-views. To only receive 6% is tragic. For Terence Crawford to only receive 6% of the pay-per-views is tragic, to say the least. But let's listen to what Terence Crawford had to say, shall we?
Sign that, given that we don't get paid until they make their money back. So once they make their money back, then they get a percentage of, everything that comes in. So it kind of take away from the fighters. Towards, us betting on ourselves. We just like, all right, whatever come in, it's going to be us. Some people get probably 8%, 9% of a pay-per-view fight. They probably get I was getting 6, 8% of the gate. So, like I said, your promoter, he's getting all that. And 6% of the gate, I was getting 8 to 6% of the pay-per-view shares after it meet. So, that it never met. What I mean by when I say boxing is kind of shady. Well, it ain't kind of shady. It is shady.
So as you heard, he said he was only getting 6%. That never even actually happened. Okay. And that means that the promoters are getting 94% of the pay-per-views. Okay, although it may not be a high number, 150,000 may not be a high number, 150,000 may not be a high number, but when you put it all in context, it is a lot of money that they're making off the fighters. And so now what happened is he did get a guaranteed purse up front with Top Rank. He was receiving a guaranteed purse up front, and he attested that, and he said that that's just not a good thing. That's what you heard in the beginning when he stated that, he's glad he didn't do the guaranteed purse for the Errol Spence fight, because he's going to garner way more money doing it in this format. So essentially, what Terence Crawford is admitting is that the format that the PBC and Al Haymon uses is a way better format, right? That this format works better for fighters to receive percentages of the pay-per-views on the back end, opposed to getting the guaranteed purses. So he stated that he's glad that they did it this way, because there was a hedge fund that was offering guaranteed purses up front, but he stated that guaranteed that hedge fund and how that operates was going to see them earn their money after they received their money back. So the hedge fund would have to receive their money back, and then they would pay Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. So he said that wasn't a good move, okay? And he's glad that it didn't happen in that way. and he's glad it unfolded in the manner in which it unfolded. Period. And that's the sport of boxing in a nutshell. Because these fighters step in the ring and risk their life for our entertainment, and the promoters and the managers and the networks of financial benefits. But the fighters is the one taking all the risks, and that's a shame. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. So all I got for y'all. I'm gone. Peace.